Microphone check. Can you all hear me properly? Welcome to Monday Quality Talks, MQT 10. I hope the music is not too loud. I hope that y'all feeling great. Do drop a message. Today we're gonna be talking some interesting talks. Happy New Year, family. Or should I say a better New Year? Either way, yeah, man. May y'all be blessed beyond measures as this new year starts. 4 days in. Today's Monday, the 4th of January, 2021. And I want to start by being thankful. Thankful for another year, because not everyone has had the chance to to see this year unfold. And what a year 2020 was, right? Oh God. I hope you all are feeling great. I'm not repeating myself, but since there's people logging in, I'm gonna give you guys another 5 minutes before we dive into the depth of the topic of today's conversation, today's talk. Please feel free to jump in the comment section to let yourself be seen. I'm gonna try to see how we can interact together a bit more and get your inputs on today's conversation. So, as I was saying, a blessed new year. As far as I'm concerned, no need for new resolutions, but definitely a big sense of gratitude, and that is exactly what I want to be talking about today, in the form of the value of a focused mind. As usual, I've taken some important notes, which I believe will be very handy as we get to this conversation. And yeah, a nice little cigar just to keep the vibe. Yes, indeed, family. So yeah, make yourself comfortable. This is Monday Quality Talks, your weekly rendezvous every Mondays here on YouTube on my channel. Family, why do I want to talk about the value of a focused mind? If you've been following the MQTs since the inception here on YouTube, you'll see that everything kind of follow the same, logic. And so basically, I want to make sure that we go as deep as possible in some of these conversations that I touch on. And, as I speak about one topic, the inspiration for the next one kind of comes along the one that I had the week before. So today I want to talk about the necessity to be having a focused mind and some of the ways to accomplish that, at least some of the things that I practice. So basically, this is me sharing my practice with you. And so it is working for me, and I'm fine-tuning it every day, but it's just sharing what my practice is with you, and hopefully something that will maybe inspire you, because this is what this is about, 2021 and onwards. It's going to be all about that, and me sharing as much as I can of my personal practice, because I don't want to be talking about something that I don't do. or that I don't necessarily associate with in some way, shape, or form. So the value of a focused mind is something that we hear, in so many ways. It's like, oh, it's important to be concentrated. It's important to have goals. It's important to be aligned. But nobody speaks on how do you achieve that, because God, it's such an abstract thing, right? And so how does one get to this level, and how does one manage to stay focused as well? So I'm going to be touching on, again, it's there's no structure in my notes, but there is indeed a structure in the ideas that I'm going to be touching upon that are connected with the topic. So bear with me as the story unfolds for the next hour. Once again, if you want to jump in the comments and say something and add value to the conversation, it's more than welcome. So let's start first by identifying what it means from a meditative standpoint to have a focused and or controlled, I would say, mind, right? And I know the word control scares a lot of people because it sounds like you too strict, or it sounds very authoritarian. But the thing is that the mind is an animal, it's a wild animal, right? And it's basically, and your body is as well. And so I've learned kind of early that in order for me to be able to stay sane in this crazy world and through all these experiences of life that I had and yet to have, of course, but so far, in order for me to keep some sort of sanity, in order for me to keep some sort of like accountability with the goals that I've set for myself, and in order for me to even set goals, I needed to make sure that I tapped into knowledges, I tapped into informations that would really strengthen my skill set. You know what I mean? As far as how do I adapt to a given situation, and how do I maintain, I maintain myself in that direction. So if we're looking at it from a meditative standpoint, from a monk or most very spiritual approach, the control of the mind is the balance between not being too excited in pleasure, but also not being too depressed in pain. So this is really, really important. And that's something that I didn't know I was kind of doing, but didn't really put a name or how do you call this? I didn't label it, but, and I will explain myself. Basically, when I was in the beginning of my career, I never really got too excited. I would get super happy, yes, but there was something in me that was always keeping me sort of like grounded. And people would say, but are you not happy? Why do you look so sad? Or why do you look so this? And I always had a hard time trying to explain that I wasn't feeling sad. I just felt humbled, and grateful, and I understood that none of this was to be taken for granted, and that it was just a consequence of my willpower and of my desire, and that I just needed to stay focused and not get carried away with the accolade or whatever was to be the very subject of my happiness, or explosion of joy, which, don't get me wrong, did happen. That doesn't mean that you cannot explode in joy, and the whole idea is not to say, look, you can't get excited about things. No, the thing is to for any super strong level of joy, there's also strong level of pain. And so some people want to live in these constant, peaks, up and down, up and down. There's no sense of stability, there's no, it's not gentle. You know what I mean? It's like, it's got to be, and not everybody's like that, of course, but like some people majority of people are really living their life like that. And so this leads to like extreme mental discomfort, and lead people to just go through emotional, spiritual despair, etc., etc. So it's important to take a moment and say, okay, look, I'm super happy about XYZ situation. And again, I'm talking about my experience and how I do things, right? And so let me appreciate this experience. Let me appreciate this moment, and honor it, and give it all its flowers, right? And at the same time, humble myself to understand that there's much more to be done, and keep it moving. But yet, still give space for this glorious moment to be and to exist. That's super important. But yet, you see, this doesn't work as easily for pain. Because if you recall last week, I spoke about, peer pressure and how easy it is to fall into the things that are not necessarily good for you, but that just feel, comfortable, that feel, feel nice, but they're not necessarily nice for you, because they're keeping you in a form of negativity. They're keeping you in a vibe that's just not coherent with the elevated energy that you say you aspire to have, and the quality of life that you aspire to have. Greetings, Emmanuel. Greetings, Eli. What's going on? Thank you for joining us. And so, same goes, right? So it's easy to kind of like dominate your mind in a way when things are cool. You can keep your cool or not. A lot of people lose it, but if you manage to keep your cool, you'll keep it cool. But when everything hits the fan and it gets super negative, you lose your shit. You feel you go all the way down. And I think that this is really something that is connected to the fact that we are so emotional as humans. And I found it interesting when I used to tell myself that I had told myself that I didn't feel emotions like that anymore. That I was shielded, that I was completely able to to sort of like create a shield between me and pain. And the pain I would feel would be the pain I would allow myself to feel. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. You're welcome. Be welcome, family. Thank you very much. And as I said, please feel free to jump in and bring in your knowledge and some of your ideas. Let's talk. And so this is the thing. I just lost my train of thoughts. Oh God, you see, this is an exercise. It's not easy to be able to look at the chat and then continue the thought process. And so, oh gosh, this happens. So negativity, right? So basically, when shit hits the fan, you go down. You feel super low. Nothing goes well. No matter what people tell you, it just doesn't seem to really just hit you the way it needs to be hitting you, and so this comes to the question of paradigm. And after all, my notes are making sense. Like, oh damn, let me give myself some credits. Focused mind, you see, lead by example. This lead one person to then understand that you start creating a paradigm, and so that's where you felt so deeply about the bad energy, the bad comment, the bad whatever, that it created an image in your subconscious mind and an idea within your subconscious mind that no matter how much your conscious mind wants to do things, well, you want to be this, you want to be that, but then you say, I don't know why I'm not able to do it. I don't know. And no matter how people can ask you the question in whichever language, you never seem to be able to solve the problem, because the problem is not that your mind it doesn't want. It's just you've configured your subconscious mind to refuse anything that your conscious mind tells it to do. So you become a victim, first of all, so all this is a consequence of the thoughts that in the first place you entertained, and you decided to define your life through, you decide to define your life through these, reflections. You decide to define your existence through these tragic or dramatic moments, and therefore you feel like this is just what you deserve, or this is all your worth is about, etc., etc. And those are beliefs that create a paradigm. And so it's very important. Please do take notes if you want, but since you can watch this as a replay, and it's very important for you to understand. And this is something that I caught from a gentleman, I forgot his first name, but it's Mr. Proctor. And so it really is powerful what he said about paradigms. And if you recall, I was talking about paradigms already on MQT 9 and MQT 8. And it's very important. It's so funny that I stumbled upon that the other day. And I was like, oh, yeah, straight up, taps into the conversation. So basically, the paradigm is a multitude of habits that are programmed into your subconscious mind to control your behavior. Right? So in this case, we're talking about how easy it is for you, for me, for everyone to start creating these habits, program them into our subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is really the mind that, does make you do things in a very, I would say, instinctive way. You don't really have to think about it. It's just manifesting that in your life. And so this leads you to have, usually, for example, relationship, it's not just the explanation, but it does say a lot, or gives massive clues about why, for example, massive clues on why you are, usually meeting, a man or woman that are not necessarily good for you. It tells a lot on, why, for example, at work, this and that is happening to you, or why, for example, this and that in your life is not working out. All of these things, usually, that's what people say. A lot of the things that happen to you in your life are the fruits of your creations. And as horrible as that may sound, because of course, it's not that you want something bad to happen to you, of course not. But because there's a set of beliefs that has been, engraved in your system, subconscious system, it has integrated that information. It has programmed itself to now operate in that realm. So no matter how much, pep talks you can have, no matter how much, videos about how to stay positive, this and that, you watch, the message doesn't sink in. And the truth as well is that a lot of people don't give you the keys to change the paradigm around, to flip the table so that, you literally start seeing yourself from that different perspective, and you be like, yo, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling like, nothing I do works? Why? As a matter of fact, why does everything I do not working the way I want it to work? And so this is very important, since your thoughts precede your words. There's a saying that says, watch what you think, and even more so what you speak. Oh man, I've learned so much from that. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. The other day, actually, as I was, New Year's Eve, I was feeling rather down. A part of me, was not. I was feeling mellow. I was thinking about a couple of things, and I was really feeling mellow. But super grateful, super thankful, but very mellow. And so I told myself, I said, nah, man, this is just not, no. I mean, I understand. And let me distinguish what that feeling is. And, you know, there was melancholia, there was a little bit of sadness, there was, you know, the sense of missing a particular type of energy, you know, and then I was like, no, you're starting to create a reality that is anchored in negativity in a way, right? So instead of feeling empty, instead of feeling like I was lacking something, or instead of feeling like I didn't have that very specific energy that I wanted with me at that time, at that moment, I should feel abundance. I should feel grateful. I should feel thankful that I'm here, that I'm breathing, that I'm experiencing this moment. Let me look back at everything that I've gone through. Let me understand and acknowledge that, yo, what is meant to be will be, what is not is not. But right now, what is meant to be is for you to be here now and feel this. And it came and edified itself. Anthony is saying, totally agree. One thing I noticed is unless someone recognizes this and realizes that it is an issue and the effects it has, then they are never able to shift the mindset. Exactly. But the thing is that as well, you don't want to also beat yourself as well. You know, that's the thing. So yes, it is an issue, but the good news is that there is a solution. There is a way out, you know? And for example, me, I've been working on this, as I've explained this before. I started my journey when my father died back in 2014. So you see, from 2014 to 2021, a long journey. And believe me, it wasn't a smooth journey as well. There was a lot going on. But I started to work deeply, even more so when my father passed away. I was doing that already. So there was already an openness to a lot of conversations, a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts. But, you know, the work really started taking place, you know, from that point, 2014, you know, all the way to now, and of course beyond. Because this is now part of my system. This is how I function. This is how I think. You know, so I don't, for example, when I see a problem, I don't see a problem. I see a solution. That's why, for example, I don't deal very well with people who constantly see problems where there is not necessarily a problem. There's actually an opportunity. And but I had to also learn that everybody's not on the same, you know, frequency as yours when you've been doing this for so long. So I've been at this for so long as well. I do have a little bit of a margin of evolution, but that doesn't mean that I'm better. It just means that I understand things from a different perspective, and I'm trying my best to stay to keep the course. And that is why I'm talking about negative experiences usually sidetracking you from the actual paradigm you're trying to build, or you work to build, and then it got messed up and broken down to pieces, you know, like a sandcastle. Because this is the problem, and this is something that I've noticed, right? In order for the paradigm you build, the positive paradigm, the paradigm that you're building, you know, this multitude of habits, right, that are programmed into your subconscious mind to control your behavior in a positive way now, right? For example, waking up every day and giving thanks, feeling grateful, sensing the power of the life that inhabits your body, your system, you know, giving grace to the beauty that is your life, and that is the life of those around you, you know, working out every day, eating healthy every day, drinking water, this and that, or walking your dog, developing a set of habits, or loving your partner, or, you know, listening to your child, or asking, you know what I mean, whatever it is that you're creating as part of the paradigm, the positive paradigm you're creating for yourself, these sets of positive habits that help you elevate yourself to realizing what it is that you're trying to realize in your life, as in, you know, projects, you know, whatever the case may be, right? It is important to understand that repetition will lead you to master the exercise. Yes, welcome. Oh, Hosafly, welcome. Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you very much. Welcome, guys. Appreciate your presence. MQT 10. So repetition will make better. Practice makes perfect. And so basically, the more you practice a state of mind, the more that state of mind is going to become you. The problematic is that we've been trained to practice a state of mind that is self-destructive, and or charged with negative competitivity, or charged with this very toxic self-worth talk. Or it's like, I always found it very funny, this conversation of bad bitch this, bad bitch that, or bad motherfucker this, bad motherfucker boss talk this. Look, these are I understand what it means, but the problematic is that it is rooted in the first place in a lot of lack of self-confidence, because it relies on materialistic perception of who it is that you want to be, or that you're presenting yourself to be. And if you don't control your mind, and if you don't first work on developing these sets of habits that will constitute a paradigm of positivity, where you're going to be really able to tap into, that book, The Secret? Look, I have never read a single line of that book, because I read some of the publicities around it. I believe my mother back in the days, she bought it, or my father, I can't remember, and I just never got attracted by this book, never. Yet the thing that I just told you about paradigm is coming from one of the guys that was interviewed in the Secret movie. But even he said very honestly that he didn't have the time to actually develop the whole idea, the whole conversation at the time, which is unfortunate. And this is the thing, this is the trick that I always hated with a lot of these people. And I understand, because that's how they make their money. And so, to some extent, if you really thorough with your research, you'll start finding serious clues and serious keys to those questions you ask yourself. How to be successful, how to attract the things that you want to have, money, it's whatever the case may be, right? But the thing is that you have to make sure that before you go to all these materialistic concerns, you get your shit right. And that comes with breaking down, the afflictions of your emotions, the afflictions of what it is that you've created as a negative paradigm. It's very important. This is super important. It's actually crucial if you want to see anything, prosperous happening to your life. Look, I'm telling you this because this is what I'm practicing. So this is my practice I'm sharing with you. You do with it what you want. It is not the answer to it all, but it is the answer for me. And you know what? It's bringing me results. Now, is it bringing me all the results I want when I want them? No. But this is the thing, and that's very important. You remember when I said, thoughts precede the words, right? So you got to watch what you think. For those of you who's following me on Instagram and you see my stories, I always say, watch what you're thinking. Watch that. Pay attention to your words. When you see something that bothers you, when you see something that is causing you pain, instead of actually giving this emotion so much space and importance, think, is it really that important? Welcome. Thank you very much for joining the chat and this live. Is it really that important? Is it? Is it really adding value to your life? That doesn't mean that you shouldn't pay attention to it, to a certain extent, but then don't give it more than 10 seconds. Literally, try. And trust me, today, for example, this morning I was taking my shower, and as I was taking my shower, sometimes I have that. I'll think about something that pisses me off. When I'm taking my shower, I'm just visualizing this water that's charged with this, positive energy and this light, and that I'm pretty much like, it's almost like you're getting baptized. You know what I mean? If you want to look at it this way, But basically, you're cleansing yourself, and not just cleaning yourself. You are cleansing yourself. And so as I'm doing this cleansing process every morning, and of course every night as well, but it's even more so in the morning, because, at night you just remove all this energy of the day. Even though you're not going out of your house, you still gathered a lot of energy. Because don't get it twisted, just because you're on your computer or on your phone doesn't mean you actually connected with anything. If you're feeling emotions and if you're having exchanges with people that will I think there's a problem. What happens here? It seems like there's an issue with the connection. Well, hopefully y'all can still see me. I think a bit of an issue here, but do let me know. So basically, all of this is a question of understanding that you need to set intentions. You need to really be about the change that you want to see. And it comes through the littlest things, how you shower, how you eat, how you breathe. A lot of people don't know how to breathe. Look, it's a very complex thing, but all of this comes to the help and to the support of the sustainability of your focused mind, of the creation of the paradigm that you're creating, that positive paradigm, that positive reality. And it's not necessarily created by people around you. That really honestly doesn't mean much. It really doesn't. And it's very important for you to understand that if you rely on things outside of you to make you happy, and even though we need that, of course, because we are social animals, we need things around us to, validate us some way, shape, or form. I get that. But trust me, when all hell breaks loose and there's nothing but you and yourself, and you have not built that relationship with you, yo man, that's why people fall into drugs. They fall into all sorts of strange habits, and they start having these very, very, very toxic interactions, relations, etc., 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 and codependency and all sorts of nonsense, which you actually could avoid if you actually build honest, truthful, and dedicated relationship with yourself. And so with that being said, watching your thoughts is super important. Watching your words is very important, because your words will plant a seed. You see, speak your reality, but don't speak a reality based on your lack of confidence, on, I'm not good enough, or I'm not that enough. Look, trust me, not everything goes well in my life all the time. As a matter of fact, it's a consistent and dedicated work every single day. So much so that if I catch myself thinking about something that's negative, and it happens sometimes, fuck man, you feel sad. You feel like overwhelmed by one situation, or somebody says something to you, or you miss somebody, whatever the case may be. You might feel sad, and it's okay. But the thing is that you want to switch things around. Whatever is your ritual, you have to build your set of rituals, whether it be going out in the park, going for a walk, and giving thanks, even if you feel like you have nothing to be thankful for. The simple fact that you got the opportunity to breathe and to experience what you're experiencing. Give it space. Now, of course, it's not exaggerated. If somebody, killed a loved one or did something really, really off to you, of course you're not gonna feel like you want to give them love. Fuck them up. I'm not talking about these extreme cases, which eventually with time you have to try to find a way to make peace with them. But you see, the thing is this. Hey, Christelle, good to see you, sister. Sending you much love all the way out there in Australia. Yeah, so you see, all proportions considered, and understanding what I mean, which is building a relationship with yourself, building a relationship with the paradigm of positivity, of truth that you're creating. Not truth based on thinking about yourself and looking at yourself like a piece of shit that you're not. Because we are all equally created in the sense that we all have amazing capacities. Some people decide to be stupid, not trying to criticize anybody, but the thing is that, and it's not stupidity, pardon me, because then, people might, it's judgmental. But in a way, it's a bit stupid because I was there myself and I felt stupid then. I was like, damn. But then if you don't want to be judgmental, you gotta, I guess the best way to say it's like some people are oblivious, willingly oblivious to the immensity of the capacities because they feel limited by what somebody told them or what situation happened to them, you know, XYZ time ago. You know what I mean? So the mind is an amazing tool that I have personally worked thoroughly on trying to manage and to control, as far as how I project myself in the future, how I project myself in the present, especially, you know, after what I went through, for example, in 2020. I almost died from this freaking COVID, you know, and this gave me a new sense of life and an understanding that, you know what, I'm here to do things in my life that are just much deeper and much more profound than what I was doing before. You know what I mean? I came to an awakening. So what I'm speaking is just my personal experience. I repeat, it's important for me to repeat that because again, this is I'm testifying as somebody who actually experiences this shit on a daily basis, right? So I'm learning as I'm telling you these things, but again, I'm comfortable enough to speak about it and speak on it because I have seen the results and I've seen the impact in my life. For example, I developed the habit of working out every morning. I don't take the excuse or I don't have, the gym. No. I work out here at home. Now, do I go all hard and do like, the heavy lifting? Of course, I don't have that here, but it's an absolute need for me to work out every day. I'll do my little thing. It's my little workout, it's my little routine. Yeah. And I'm good with it. And it's making me feel, great. While I do that, I listen to some empowering, words from, motivational speakers, etc. I'm listening to documentaries, philosophers, etc. That's my ritual. That's my thing. Now you got to find yours. So I diverted a little bit, but it's still connected to the conversation. An idea is a spiritual seed. An idea is something that will grow in you. And so, again, if you plant the wrong idea in your mind, the outcome is not going to be nice. So start planting the right things. Look at that's what people say, I'm a temple. You look at yourself as something great, and some people think, you're not greater than what you think you are. Of course you are. You are divine, man. I mean, if you don't you see that? Look at some of the most highly vibrational moments you encounter in your life. It feels divine. It feels amazing. So if you understand that there's something about you that can create amazing things and also not so amazing things, then you realize that you are indeed in control to a certain extent of your reality, right? So really make sure you watch your thoughts and you make sure that you look after the seeds that you plant in your mind. When you get to bed at night, instead of going to bed feeling all frustrated and all that, which may happen sometimes, don't get me wrong, we're all humans. Try to switch things around the next day when you wake up then. You know what I mean? If you had a bad night and you've been feeling frustrated and you've been feeling like, things didn't go your way, next day, give thanks. Give thanks because you know what? This allowed you to maybe find answers. Or if you don't have the answers yet, it's okay. Give it time. It's going to come to you. This is what you need to understand. There's no such thing as I can't do it. There's no such thing as the limitations you create for yourself. There's a guy called, I believe his name is Jim Quick. Check him out. He's doing these seminars where he's having like thousands of people, hundreds of people do things with their bodies that they didn't know they could do. And I spoke at length about Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's a guy that I really check out a lot. I mean, literally, that's like one of the the guy that I check out as in a very committed way, because every day, even though I may listen to the same video for 1 week, I'll hear things in a different way every day. I'll hear stuff I'll understand stuff that I didn't understand the day before, or the week before, or 6 months ago. So don't feel like you know it all. Don't feel like you already know. Well, I know how it goes. It doesn't work. No. If it doesn't work, it's because you're not doing it right. That's as easy as it goes. You know what I mean? And so this is the thing, right? Based on what I just explained, this is what you need to understand. You can only attract based on the frequency you operate on. Listen well. You can only attract things based on the frequency you operate on. So if you're here, right? You're here. And the frequency is here. This is your frequency, right? Let's say this. And this is the frequency that is the frequency where you can actually attract the abundance and all that. But all you've been attracting is this, low vibrations, is this, consistent negativity. You being frustrated at every little thing, pretending to be, meditating in life and to be so spiritual, but yet, you curse people out. This is you every day, but yet you pretend to be what you're not, because you want to achieve that ideal. So basically, and this is the funny thing, right? And this is going to come to the exact example I'm giving you. You can see what's the potential that you want to achieve, and you know exactly how this feels, or you have an idea, but you're stuck here because you prefer the idea of how this feels than doing the work to elevate your energy to match that frequency, so that you can start attracting, all the positive things that you want to see manifesting in your life. And this applies to everything. When I tell you everything, I truly mean it. What life decides is what it decides. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. But until and as long as you're breathing, no matter what your limitations are, no matter what it is that you're going through, I'm 100% certain that you can switch things around and make shit happen for you in a fantastic way, right? So remember that you can only attract things based on the frequency you operate on. Again, watch how you program your subconscious mind and which paradigm you're creating for yourself. Because you see, something that I learned recently that's very, very powerful. I would think there's a little bit more laws than that, but there's two primary laws, I would say, right? I mean, there's two important laws, which the number one is vibration, and the second one is attraction. So this is the thing. If you only attract based on the frequency you operate on, it means that the vibration. So basically, right, if you see me and you look at me and I look at you like this, like, oh mad and shit, like, ready, very aggressively, what am I inspiring you? I'm looking grumpy, I'm looking aggressive, then you're gonna react the same way, right? Usually. If you go to a place, for example, you go to a town hall or some governmental institution, and the person seems to be rather aggressive or very dismissive, and then you're still very kind and very nice, and they're still being bitchy and disrespectful, and then you're like, hey, and then you take a moment, you look at them, and when they expect you to react to their negativity and their aggression, you react otherwise, and you're like, are you okay? I'm sorry. I didn't ask you. Are you okay? That destabilizes the person and changes completely how they're feeling, because they're like, oh shit, she or he did not react to my negativity. Then you're making them self-conscious. You're making them realize that, oh fuck, oh, you're making me realize that I was aggressive to you. I maybe had nothing against you. It's just that I probably was dealing with my own shit, dealing with, me trying to get out of the paradigm that I created. And then you came and disrupted my own, battle with myself. And then it so happened that, I kind of lashed at you, right? It's unfair, but it's just life. It's just what it is. And so this is the thing. Understand that, if some of the most important laws of attraction are, connected to how you vibrate. Well, actually, the law of attraction actually is vibration. Because if you don't vibrate the right way, you won't attract anything that's right for you. And even sometimes when you vibrate the right way, you will attract sometimes things that will throw you off the curve, because that's how tricky life is sometimes. It's not an exact science. That's why you have to attend to these thoughts. You have to attend to your personality. You have to attend to how you look at yourself. You have to attend to all these things so that you can keep yourself, accountable, keep yourself in check. Because it's every day till the day you die or I die that we learn and we work on this. But believe me, the more you do this, look, man, I'm practicing what I'm talking about, man. And abundance is coming, Yeah, sometimes, it looks more complicated than I think, and it feels like, there's no solutions, but they're coming, It's on their way. You have to live as if everything is already here, because everything is already here. Everything that you want happening in your life, to see happen in your life, is already happening. But it's not happening yet because you're either in a rush or you're not necessarily channeling yourself the way you should be. So you see the potential, but you don't want to do the work to get to that frequency, to get to that level, to get to that point. You see? And that is something that is, I would say, the main problem that we as humans, have to deal with, the desire to do the work, to work the extra mile, and to get shit done pretty freaking much, and with that being said, I hope that this was in any way, shape, or form useful to you. Yeah, man. To sum it up, the value of a focused mind resides, in my opinion, in several points that I'm gonna give you now. First of all, it's a balance, right? So not be too excited and infatuated with pleasure. That's on the meditative aspect of things, when you're looking at it from a meditative spiritual aspect. Well, even though the whole conversation is actually about, we talk by spiritual, we're not necessarily talking about this in a religious way. Spiritually, it's matter of the spirit, of the mind, of the higher self, right? So not being too excited in pleasure and not being too depressed in pain. Maintaining that balance, maintaining that harmony is very important. And you have to create a paradigm, but you cannot create a paradigm if you don't understand what a paradigm is. Because the thing is that most of the time you already created a paradigm, or a paradigm was created for you, because we are a result of the result of our environment. So basically, if you are surrounded by negative people all the time, or mediocre people, you will indeed end up being that way. No matter how good you want to be or how better you want to be, unless you really do some serious work to just enhance your quality of life, then maybe, yeah. But most of the time it's very unlikely. That doesn't mean that it's impossible, but it's unlikely if you don't have that that awakening. And so, in order for you to build the paradigm that you want to build, which is a positive one, which is one that works for you, you have to understand what it means. A paradigm is a multitude of habits that are programmed into your subconscious mind to control your behavior. I repeat, a paradigm is a multitude of habits that are programmed into your subconscious mind to control your behavior. Once you understand that the way you think affects the way you feel, and the way you feel affects the way you live. And it's infinite. So you gotta take control, you gotta regain sovereignty upon your own skill and power, right? Your power of taking decisions that are actually good decisions. Painful maybe, but good ones. Understand that your thoughts are very important. And since they precede your words, make sure that you watch your thoughts, right? So that when you speak them, they are pregnant with all the great things that you want to see happening in your life. That, by pregnant, comes the idea of a seed. Planting that right seed in your system, in your subconscious mind, every day, repeating the same sentence. I'm abundant, I'm grateful. Everything is looking, it's all fucked up maybe, but it's gonna be fine. I'm confident. I know I'm gonna survive this. How do you think I survived 2020? Just like most people, by telling ourselves, being resilient. You know what I mean? Digging deep. We all are survivors, one way or the others. Don't suffer from what you see. Believe me, I said it last time. A lot of the shit that you see online is all a moment. The moment they're done doing whatever selfie they're doing, these very people are sad. Because you see, they're working on the surface. They're not working in depth. You understand? They want to be pleasurable to others, but they're not pleasurable to themselves. Happiness is not found in how others perceive you. It's how you perceive yourself. That's why I have learned to perceive myself the way I need to be perceiving myself, and to understand who I am, and to understand how I flow and how I function and how I want to be treated and how I want to treat people. So I don't give a fuck how people think or what people think of me, in a way, because in a major way, as a matter of fact, it's always good to know that, somebody appreciates you and all that, and it's nice. But if you don't, doesn't change my day at all. I'm good. You know what I mean? And I know it's not easy. I know it's not for everybody. But again, it's everyone's practice and it's everyone's responsibility to understand that, you gotta watch the seeds that you plant in your mind. Because when they grow, they can bear very, very lovely and sweet fruits, or very sour and not so nice fruits. That being said, it means that you need to operate your frequency, your vibration, at a level that is equivalent to what you want to see manifested in your life. This doesn't mean that you need to fake it till you make it, because I know some people are going to come and say, so this means you can fake. I mean, I understand the idea of faking it till you make it, but not in the sense that you have to lie about your existence, etc., etc. I mean, you don't have to display your the difficulties you're going through, but again, that's considering that you just want to impress people. When it comes to you yourself and the person that you see, which is you, me, myself, and I, you have to understand that you can only attract based on the frequency you operate on. So basically, my frequency has to be as high as possible, as positive as possible, in order for me to attract, what I need to attract, which is it could be a mentor, it could be somebody that gives me advices, it could be anything, it could be the right love, it could be the right partner, it could be anything in life, right? A good health, it could be having a healthy body, a healthy mind, etc. Whatever it is your focus. But again, get to the practice, get to the work. And if you want to get to that based on focusing aligning your frequency with a little bit more superficial things, in the beginning it's going to work, maybe, but then quickly you'll see that these are tools that need to be used for higher purposes, because you're not just a physical, you're not just a body, you're not just flesh, you're more than that. At least that's what I believe. So align your frequency in order for you to attract things that are matching this frequency. And understand that since all of that is about attraction, you got to make sure your vibe is on point. Vibe the right way, family. And your mind will be kept in check and in control, and it will be at your service, and you won't be a victim of it. You'll be in control, you'll be a partner, you'll be working hand in hand with yourself. Exactly. All right? This was Monday Quality Talks, family. Short one, 1 hour. Today 1 hour sharp. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Etienne. Eliana, thank you for being there as well. Anthony, Rosa, Traoré, Christelle, and everyone else watching. The new comers and those who are just viewing this now or later on, whenever, you're very welcome. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Make sure you show some love. Go to Boddhi-Satva.com, or you can scan the QR code here on my left, and show some love, family. It's always appreciated. Get your merch, be part of the movement, and yeah, man, tag along. Every Monday it's here, MQT, and I really appreciate your support, and yo, man, once again, I wish y'all a fantastic and a much better 2021. 2020 was not easy on us, but it's in the past now. Let's move forward, let's be confident, and let's be grateful. And please let these words not be just vain. Let them sink in and try to adapt them. I swear to you, I'm living by this reality, and more than ever, it's helping me. Because don't get me wrong, you might see me like that. I'm going through my own set of stresses, my own set of pains, my own set of despairs. And it's helping me so much. It's helping me so much. So do with it what you want, but if you do something with it, I'm pretty sure you'll see some positive results. Yeah, man. Thank you, family. Once again, it's nothing but love, nothing but appreciation, and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be spending these very precious moments together. Also, remember, this Friday coming, we got Quarantine Grooves 92. Yes, indeed. It's gonna be the second show of the year, and I count on your presence, of course. And in the meantime, y'all have a fantastic start of the first week of this new year. Be abundant, vibrate as high as you can, and attract all the great things that you want to see happening in your life. Thank you so much, family. God bless, and I'll see you next week.